Hello and welcome everybody, I am Count Christo and welcome back to the Belligerent Brandenburg campaign. In the last episode, we didn't really live up to our name. We weren't hugely belligerent, we were just quietly sitting here while Denmark stewed on their island, being annoyed they couldn't dare come and face the glorious professional armies of the Mittelmark. Ooh, nice. Coronos Prussian, fantastic. So hopefully we can start dragging down this autonomy. Ooh, God, not for a while. The septism wasn't there, we're dragging it down. Once we can state this area, that'll make it a bit better. The greater nobles really doesn't help. The communication efficiency is beginning to break down over here. So the problem is, without money, it's quite difficult to have a big impact on communication efficiency because you need to be able to build roads and ports and all that kind of... Oh, hang on. Denmark's at war with... Yeah, go Sweden! Sweden is involved in a war for their independence. Go Sweden. Good. Sweden might well become a rival, but for now, I'm very much in favour of them hurting our rival, Norway. Fantastic. Who's our third rival? Saxony? Oh, we're still rival to the Teutons. Poor Teutons. That's really a bit unfair, isn't it? So unfortunately, the Poles have a 7-year window. The Polish have a 7-year window in which they can attack the Teutons before we're able to. So I guess I just have to sit here and hope they don't. Allied to Transylvania. Did I say Transylvania? Transylvania exists? Oh, I wonder what this white thing was down here when I was talking about the Turks. Transylvania. Huh. How you got independent? Rebellion, I guess. Or maybe war with the Ottomans? Have they been at war with the Ottomans? The Hungarians, I mean? I don't think they have. I think this is just they grabbed some land here from who's around here? Serbia and Vidin and all that types. Those types rather, before the Ottomans grabbed it. Yeah. So the reason I want to play it as the there's some serious devastation in this area, isn't there? That kind of smoke is demonstrative of trauma. While I was talking in the last one, I noticed there was a bit of it over France. Yeah, some pretty serious devastation in this area. No one caused plagues. Sorry, not plagues, famines near me. I want there to be no famines in my lovely area, even if I did cause some damage up here. Oh, Lübeck has seized the moment, apparently, to go to war. Oh, that's right. Lübeck was supporting the Swedish independence movement, weren't they? Come on, Sweden. You know you want to take this province. Or rather, come on, Sweden, you know you want to give this province to Lübeck so they stop being an imperial city. That would be ideal. Manpower. Wow. Look how much more manpower we get now. As we begin to core some big provinces over here. Ermland was actually in the West Prussian state. Interesting. But this one's in the East Prussian state. Gosh, that's a strange shaped my lord, I can't talk. Strange shaped state. So, communication efficiency, we haven't talked about it much yet, this campaign. Let's pop the communication efficiency modifiers on the trade map. So how communication efficiency works is, ignore any indicators in anyone else's land. Oh, no, there isn't someone else's land, it's our land. So, basically, a message begins in the capital. They're known as runners. The runners start in your capital, and they spread out across your realm. And if it takes a really long time for them to get somewhere, then it takes, then communication time is long in that province. And if it takes a long time to communicate with somewhere, for various obvious reasons, it's difficult to maintain good royal authority over that province. In this case, royal. It could be any kind of authority. So, since it takes a whole month to get a message to Ostprussen, the people in Ostprussen enjoy a certain degree of autonomy because, it's difficult for someone to tell them not to when it takes a whole freaking month to send a message all the way over there. Make sense? Hope it does. And so you want to increase, wherever possible, the efficiency of the communications within your realm. That's one of the reasons you want to not have the kind of crazy realms you might get in EU4 in vanilla. So you just have England here, and then you take a couple of provinces down here, and you might, oh good, we inherited Naples, so we get some provinces here, and then personally Muscovy, great, we'll integrate them. We have a whole load of land over here. You want to have more centralized states. you know, clustered around your capital, because the land closer to your capital is going to have lower communication time and therefore lower autonomy and therefore much higher actual income for you and less unrest too. Now, the way you can improve communication efficiency across provinces, let's talk about this while I'm paused. The way you can increase communication efficiency across provinces is to have roads in them. That's one way. So you can see this road here is great. They have a higher impact in provinces which have rough terrain. So let's look here. In a terrain that is plains, each level of road network decreases the network travel time across this province by 0.25, 0.5, 0.75, and 1.5, right? So those are the different tiers of roads. The highest tier, don't worry about it. Like, you won't see it in 90% of your games, because you only unlock it down at Diplotech 50, which I think is the last Diplotech. No, there is 51, so probably 60 is the last one, but it's very, very, very late game, essentially. Now, building, you know, so if we had a network of roads across here, let's look actually, what roads do we currently have in our kingdom? Very few is the answer. We have some small road networks around the capital. Don't worry about the build costs. You're not supposed to build roads through this this interface. We have some roads over here, some roads here. So one thing we could do is we could build a set of roads going all the way across here. And that would be useful for a number of things. It would increase the productivity of these areas, obviously. You know, having good roads increases the, boosts the local economy. It would mean that our message would get from Mittelmark to Ostpreußen faster. But Butler accepted peace. So England is annexing the minor states of Ireland again. The other way we could get communication efficiency over here is if we had a port here. So how many, let's check out our port situation. You can only, communication efficiency only travels by sea when you have trade wharf rank 1 or higher. These do not help with communication efficiency. These do. So we have some over here. We don't have one over here. So if we were to build trade wharf rank 1 in Pirats, rather than the message going from Newark to Lebus, oh, and by the way, you can find out exactly where the message has come from. So in Lebus, hover over this, and it'll tell you it's come from runner origin 50. So you hit F, you type 50, that's Mittelmark, easy. Now you type Ostpreußen, it's gone from here, from 2355. 2355 is Danzig. So it goes straight from Danzig to Ostpreußen, because both of them have trade wharf harbours, right? Then it gets to Danzig from 43, which is Pucko. It gets from Pucko, probably from Stolp. 48. Stolp, yep, cool. Gets to Stolp from probably Königsberg, or Kolberg, sorry. Site of the famous battle. Yep, Kolberg. Kolberg from 264. Neumark. Neumark from Lebus, almost certainly. 2835 from Lebus and Lebus from Mittelmark. Right. So one thing you could do to improve the communication efficiency to get here is you could go along that chain. Lebus, Neumark, Kolberg, Stolp, Pucko, and you could build roads in all of these, and that would help quite a bit. Every road in, like a road in Pucko, for example, would decrease it by 0.5 days, right? And then if you put a road in Stolp, it would decrease it by 0.25 days, so that's 0.75 so far. Build one here, another 0.5, that's 0.125. Then Neumark, build one here, that's 0.25, that's 0.75. Build one here, that's 2. So we could decrease the, and sorry, there's already one in Lebus, isn't there? So forget that one, 0.75. Build one in Neumark, it's Mittelmark itself, 0.25. So was that 2 days overall? So we could knock 2 days off the travel time to get to Ostpreußen, just using roads, which would take it down from 28 days to, 29 days down to 27 days, which would be pretty good. It would be quite expensive though. So let's say we wanted to build a road in Mittelmark. You do that through the visit interact with province button, construct roads. It's going to take 80 ducats total. You can just pay, the base road cost is 80. Up road cost is 80. The province size multiplier is the one that's making it quite expensive. It would be a titchy little province. Would have a almost zero province size multiplier, or maybe 100%. I don't know if 100% modifier here means increase the cost by 100% or make the cost the base cost. But yeah, you can also contribute manpower. So we could use literally all of our manpower, almost all of our manpower anyway, to pay off 75% of the cost. Or we could convince the locals. Or we could convince the other locals. So you can do urban and rural wealth can be convinced to help with constructing the roads. So it's an expensive endeavor. The other thing we could do is we could change up the route of the communication going over here. We could build a Level 1 trade harbour in Piritz. And then the message would go from here to here, out into the ocean, and then maybe directly to Danzig. Maybe directly to Ostpreußen, or maybe to Danzig, and then from Danzig to Ostpreußen. Either way, it would almost certainly get there faster than going through this, wooded and sometimes rugged coastal terrain of the Pomeranian region. So, that explanation took a little while. I think I got most stuff right. There are other ways you can decrease communication efficiency. You can build local capitals, but those are very expensive. Definitely not in our price range right now. Oh, we've done it. But why? Pardon? Oversway in the pressure set at least 10. Cause on each pressure at least... Ah, one of the following must be true. We have 6 cores in West Prussia and East Prussia. Hey, fantastic! So we can form Prussia. Okay, well I'm gonna save, because sometimes the new traditions and ideas thing just lies to you about what the traditions and ideas are. I raised this with the developer quite a while ago, so maybe it's been fixed. I don't know, but obviously it's big work to check that it works for every single time you can form a nation. So we can form Prussia. Fantastic! Our glorious wars against the Teutons have borne fruit. Now it gives you cores, right? So Prussia. Prussia loses core on the Prussia region. Prussia gains core on the Prussia region, hopefully in that order. Gain permanent claim on the Prussia region. 20 prestige. We get the rank of kingdom. We change to Prussia. We gain 10 absolutism, which is beautiful. Gain a possibility to change national ideas. And we add the Teutonic Order as historic rival. That shouldn't be a problem. So I think that means I should cancel this coring process, because it'll refund some of the admin points. And we're about to get a free core. So I hope I'm right about that. Let's do it. Do we have some text? Yes. There is only one king in the empire, the king of Bohemia. In the same time, our lands in Prussia are not a historic part of the empire. So let us declare ourselves the king of Prussia to reflect our grander status than the other electors. Yeah, suck it, electors. We are Prussia. Glorious. Oh, look at that colour. That's quite nice. I like that. Okay, so there we go. We are now the Kingdom of Prussia. New flag. Fantastic. Awesome. I think most other stuff stayed the same. But yeah, we are a kingdom now, which gives us an extra 0.05 prestige compared to our previous rank. Ideal. Lots of extra free centralization, which is fantastic. It's ideal. Is this going down yet? No, it's almost reached equilibrium, though. You can tell it's only going up by 0.02. And then you can see our centralization is reducing it by 0.2 per year, which is good. Okay, not much else seems to have changed. Did we get the core? We did. In fact, we got a full core. But not a full core here. That's bizarre. Full core here and here, but not anywhere else. This was all a state, so why did it treat this province? Huh. I don't know. Anyway, weird. We gained the conquest CV against Poland because we gained a permanent claim on the whole Prussia region, which includes here. Okay, good. So we don't really need to go to war with Poland early if we want to. Ooh, and... everyone has gone question mark, I suspect. Yeah, because we formed a new nation, everyone's going to recalculate their opinions towards us. Which might make Bohemia decide they hate us, or Poland decide they hate us. We'll see. They don't have much of our land set as special interest, so... And we can make a state in Ostpreußen, which we shall most certainly do. Glorious. And that's not going to just give us a core, is it? No. I'm confused as to why we didn't get... So... This one makes sense, right? We didn't have a core, so it gave a full core rather than just a territorial core. That kind of makes sense. But why Ermland? We had a core here. Anyhow. At a crossroad. Here it is. Our nation has undergone a colossal change, leading to another choice. Do we set new ideals for our country, or do we keep our ancestors' legacy? So... big choice time. Towards a new destiny. Oh, it doesn't even tell us what they are. Okay. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is just... we're going to look at these. We're going to say what matters. I'm going to open Word. This is a big moment. I apologize. I know I've been... I hope this is also entertaining. The kind of decision-making process rather than just getting on with playing the game. I know some of you will just want me to get on, but this is important. Okay. Trade range. Who cares? Evade all mercenaries, merciful discipline. Who cares? Important one. Inf combat 2.5. Inf combat 2.5. Production efficiency 20% and idea cost. Okay, so prod efficiency 20%. Idea cost 2.5%. Next one, fort maintenance, fort defense, don't care. Christianization. Mish strength 1%. And tolerance 1. Last one, rep. Prestige 0.1. I mean, it's okay. Diplo rep and legitimacy. So prestige plus legit. 0.1 each. And dip rep 0.5. Okay, so that's the ones we get if we stay with Brandenburg ideas. So we have that save, which we can go back to if that's what we decide we're going to go with. So towards a new destiny. Let's check out our new ideas. Now we have Prussian ideas. Trade range, remaining the same. Land and mercenaries, remaining the same. That's the same. So we don't need to worry about anything of those first three, so I'll delete them from the list of consideration. Next. Possible advisors +1 heretic tolerance. Come now. No, I want tolerance of the true faith rather than heretic tolerance. Possible advisors, it's okay. I don't think it's really worth mentioning. The more you tolerate heretics, I think the harder it is to convert them. Tolerance of heretics +1. I guess it's technically a positive though. So then we have art and science as a national goal. Based on the aspiring example of Roman Paris, Friedrich III of Brandenburg since 1704. We're a little bit early on this particular reformation. Friedrich I of Prussia supported the construction of the Academy of Arts and the Academy of Sciences. Okay. So we get the prestige, which just means I can delete that from the previous ideas in terms of what we're considering. And 5% tech cost. Now that is pretty good. 5% tech cost is important. Ooh, 5% inf combat. That's good. Okay, so the Prussian military focus. Well, let's put that in. So we've got 5% inf combat, which is above and beyond the 2.5 we already had, and 5% land force limit. 5% land force limit. Okay, and we're still authoritarian family. I think Prussian is authoritarian family anyway, right? Yes, that looks the same. Duration costs respread. Yeah, they both have the same amount. Okay. So to line up the two idea groups, on the one hand, we have missionary strength +1, true faith tolerance +1, legitimacy 0.1 per year, and diplo rep 0.5. Versus, on the other hand, with the Prussians, we have tolerance of heretics +1, 5% tech cost, 5% inf combatability, and 5% land force limit. Oh, I'm conflicted. I mean, the Prussian ideas are objectively better in terms of our main campaign goal, right? Which is Space Marines. Because there's no other way we're going to be getting... In the original one, we're not getting that extra 5% inf combat. And inf combat is one of the most important stats. 5% land force limit I'm not that fussed with. Because once we've blobbed out a little bit more... The main limiting factor is usually not force limit, it's usually economy's ability to maintain the troops. 5% tech costs is pretty good. But bear in mind, if we look at our tech modifiers right now. Obviously right now we have 2 institutions we don't have, but that tends to be something quite common. Okay, tech, it's probably under just, is it tech costs? Yeah, so our tech costs right now is 11.5 down, including the idea. But I don't know, is that... The thing is, there's so many other modifiers that affect tech costs. I mean, look at this. 20%, 15%, 8.5%, 10%, 5%, 16.9%. Our high corruption is not helping. The tech cost is good. It's definitely good. Well, I mean, let me put it in actual numbers for you. It's a new recording session. I don't have that calculator open. Let me get that up. Gotta have the calculator. All right, so there are 60 techs in the game. All right, we've already done how many? 14? No, 13. Let's just go with that mid-tech. We've already done 13. So there are 47 techs remaining. 5% tech costs is essentially 5% of 400, which is, what would that be? 20. So we're going to save 20 monarch points 47 times in 3 groups. That's 2,800 monarch points over the course of the whole game. It's not bad. We do lose the Diplo rep. I think the fact that we're going... I'm mad about losing tolerance in favour of tolerance for heretics, because come on. We're going to tolerate the heretics. We're being fanatical. We're going to take all kinds of religious ideas and drive them from our realm, or otherwise force them to convert by fire and steel and all that good stuff. But yeah, I think the tech cost is pretty great, and the stated goal being to make sure we have Space Marines, I think means we should go with Prussian ideas. Okay, decision made, which is it's good, that's the easy one. That means we don't have to roll anything back. I want to know if we're getting culture conversion in a bordering Cord province. So let's call Kolberg, in honor of it being a famous historical site in our realm's national psyche. We're going to call Kolberg, and we'll see if it does some culture conversion. Okay, well, that's the end of that episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I know I did. We have reformed into the glorious Prussian blue. Very nice colour on the map. And of course, we zoom out now. We are beginning to make our name known. We're spreading our font a little bit, as everyone knows, one of the most important things. France is worryingly large. I am a little concerned. Ooh, 37 years old. Royal marriages with whom? No one bigger than us. Aragon's pretty big. We could try while they're still neutral to us. What do you think? Yeah, still a Trastamara from Aragon inheriting right now, but you know, maybe the Aragon ruler will die before the French one. If we can get our dynasty on France's throne, that would be pretty cool. Anyhow, thank you ever so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the episode. I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.